Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. I thought I would make a video today to share with you some maths questions that I've been working on with a lot of my GCSE students this week, and that is on dividing fractions. So we are going to look at some dividing fractions, first of all looking at dividing proper fractions, and then moving on to dividing mixed numbers as well. And these questions are roughly grade 3, grade 4 style questions in the GCSE maths paper. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at working out 1/2 divided by 1/8. And we're going to use this rule down here that I use with all of my students when learning to divide a fraction. It's called the keep, change, flip rule. Which basically means we keep the first fraction exactly as it is. So that one stays as 1/2. We then change this sign. So this sign, instead of a divide, actually turns into a multiply. And then finally, we flip the last fraction. So instead of using 1/8, we can cross this one out and turn it into 8 ones, which is the same as 8 wholes. Okay, so that leaves us with 1/2, and we multiply it by 8 wholes. And then we think back to how we multiply fractions, which is the easiest thing to do with fractions, I always think. We take the numerators and we multiply them together, so that gives us 8. And then we take the denominators and multiply them too. So 2 times 1 equals 2. So at the moment, we've got our fraction as an improper fraction. We can't leave our answer like this. We need to work out what 8 divided by 2 is, which is nice and simply 4. Okay, so this is a really great rule to use, the keep, change, flip. Let's have a go at the next one then. So we've got 2/3. We keep that one the same. We're going to change the sign into a multiply. So if I write it out under here, 2/3 multiply by, and then flip to 4 wholes or 4 ones. Then we can just multiply the numerators. So 2 times 4 is 8. And 3 times 1 for the denominators is 3. Now we have got an improper fraction here, but we can't actually do 8 divided by 3, and we can't simplify it. So we could leave our answer like that, or we could turn it into what we call a mixed number. So to do that, we have to work out how many 3's go into 8. Well, I know that goes in 2 times. So 2 wholes, that's 6 of the thirds. 6 of the thirds there. And then that means we then have 2/3 left over. So 8/3 or 2 2/3. Okay, we're now going to look at a more complicated question, but still using exactly the same keep, change, flip. This is a grade 4 question, and you can see it's worth 4 marks, whereas the last 2 were only 1 mark each. So instead of starting with a proper fraction here, they've given you mixed numbers. We've got 8/2 divided by 2 2/3. Now, the first thing I would always say to my students is turn them into improper fractions first of all. So looking at the first one, 8/2, all we do is we do that 2 and times it 8 times to work out how many halves there are in 8 wholes. That gives you 16, so there are 16 halves in 8 wholes. And then we've just got to add the 1, 17 halves. So 8 1/2 as an improper fraction is 17 halves. And then we're going to divide that by 2 2/3. Again, we need to turn it into an improper. So we'll do 2 times 3, which is 6. Add the 2 there, which is 8/3. Okay, so we've got them as improper fractions. We can now use keep, change, flip. So 17 halves stays the same. We change the sign into a multiply, and we flip the third one upside down. Okay, so then nice and easy, we just multiply them. So we take our numerators, 17 multiplied by 3. We can do some column method calculations on the side here to help us if you didn't know that off the top of your head. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 times 1, that's 3. Add the 2, gives you 5. So that's our numerator, will be 51. Divided by, or over the top of, 2 times 8, which is 16. Okay, so we can leave our fraction as this. Oh, actually, no, we can't leave our fraction like this, because if we read the question, it said we need to give our answer as a mixed number, whereas at the moment we have our answer as an improper fraction. So to work out what this is as a mixed number, we need to work out how many 16s go into 51. So at the side of the page, I might just do some quick 16 times table. We've got 16, 32, then we've got to add another 16, which gives you 48. And actually that 48 is the closest we can get to 51. So we can know now that we can get 16 into 51 3 times. And then to get from 48 to 51, that is 3/16 left over. Okay, so that would be your answer, 4 marks. I think that's quite a nice question for 4 marks. Obviously, if you couldn't do this part at the end and you just left 51/16, you'd still get 3 marks, which is great, but we hope to get 4 marks if possible. Great, have a go at some questions like that. Like I said, this is something I've been working on with my GCSE students this week, and then we'll look at something else next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.